This is the Tigers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, hopefully you stayed up late and found your way through that one because it had a little bit of everything. But the Tigers win. The Tigers win. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers POSTCAST. I am your host, Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. Took extra innings, but the first place Tigers finally earned the victory over the lowly Colorado Rockies. 8-6 the final. Here's what we've got on tap for today's show. We'll go over that 10th inning with Spencer Torkelson with that clutch RBI. Trey Sweeney, another big night, 4 hits for him. And how about Javy Baez have a day? 4 runs batted in. The bullpen, they were nails. We'll break that all down as the Tigers stay hot. It's a live Locked On Tigers POSTCAST, and this is your home for all things Detroit Tigers on the post-game side of things, free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on YouTube as well, all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and it all happens right here on Locked On Tigers. You got the Daily Show with Scott Bentley, and you got the post-game reaction show with me, Jake Riepma. Your comments are welcome as well because it's a collaborative environment here on Locked On Tigers and the POSTCAST, and there's a lot to unpack after this one. Let's start with just the way this game was a slugfest, and that goes for both sides. Unfortunately for Jackson Jobe, boy, did he really struggle in this one. But I want to start with the positives. We'll get to Jobe in a second, but the Tigers kept finding themselves down and finding a way to come back. And the 3-run inning in the third and the 3-run inning in the fourth, a testament to the Tigers' bats come into play today and led by Javy Baez. And this is another episode that we get to hop on here and talk about how good Javy Baez has been. And tonight it's 4 runs batted in and a couple of 2 RBI single and making the most of his opportunity and doing it in the 9-hole, no less. So the 4 runs batted in, the 2 hits, and 5 plate appearances for Javy Baez. Just an awesome day for him. Now, don't forget the 2 strikeouts and he grounded in a double play as well. But hey, you'll take the 4 runs batted in for sure. Other production on the offensive end, you got to give a lot of credit to Gleyber Torres. He was really good again at the plate tonight. What a lift he's been for this Detroit Tigers team. He had the RBI, and then Colt Keith with the other RBI in the first portion of the game before going to extra innings. And like I mentioned, in that extra innings, there's something about being the road team in extra innings and getting that first opportunity to score with the ghosty runner. And if you know me well enough, you know I absolutely hate the ghosty runner starting on second base. And maybe on a night like tonight, it's the rule is implemented to shorten the extra inning games. I understand that completely, and it plays to the Tigers' favor as the road team getting to jump out in front with the RBI double right away from Spencer Torkelson. But then you're in a situation with 2 outs and a runner on second. You're trying to get that insurance run in. And an interesting play, they gave Trey Sweeney, the official scorer gave Trey Sweeney the hit, but I thought for sure it could have been called an error on Beck, the left fielder, who was coming in and trying to make the catch. But Trejo, the shortstop, did not do him any favors. And Dirks talked about this on the broadcast, where at the very last second, you see the vision of Beck is impacted or impeded, I should say. At least it looked that way, by the shortstop, causing him to take his eye off the ball. And ultimately that ball caroms off the glove and harmlessly to the ground for the Tigers. And that allows the second run to score. Now, it didn't matter because, oh, by the way, this Tigers bullpen was fantastic. And you know what? That is, my friends, that's what we're going to be talking about when you look at this game. Yes, the Javy Baez stuff was fantastic, and this Tigers team found a way to win. But a big reason why was the Detroit Tigers bullpen.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The way they shut the door in multiple innings and at times pitched around a lot of traffic on the bases to be able to go the distance, better than 6 innings of scoreless baseball from this bullpen to preserve the win after Jackson Jobe gave up 6 earned runs in just 3 2/3. I mean, just incredible stuff down the stretch from this Tigers bullpen. Herter, Hannafy, Canely, and then Will Vest. Man, what excitement from Will Vest. A little doing his best Tarek Skubal scream on the mound there. You love to see that, as well as the emotion that Will Vest pitched with tonight. He was absolutely electric on the mound. He threw 30 pitches, 20 of them for strikes in the 2 innings of work. He gets the win. He's 2-0. But, man, this Tigers bullpen collectively, the cohesiveness that they showed out there was a great reminder of what a weapon they can be. Now, let's get to some of your comments before we take a quick break. I love to lead off with this one from the man in the Michigan hat. Great to have you on the stream, my friend. I don't smoke, but I need a cigarette after that one. That's precisely how I think a lot of us feel watching this, because I know it's baseball. There's 162 of these, but, man, it just felt like a never-ending game, and it feels like eternity that this game was going on, nearly a 4-hour game. Marty Hodges says, good morning, Tigers Nations. Greetings from Germany. Been a long night. That's right. And those on the Eastern time zone, it's after midnight. So, yes, it is technically now Thursday, May the 8th. Demetrius McNeil says, Jake, this is unbelievable. Knicks overcame a 20-point deficit in the back-to-back games over the Celtics, and we got NBA playoffs going on right now. 2-run top of the 10th inning to help the Tigers win. How good is Trey Sweeney at this point? Back-to-back 4-hit games for him. Jolt Music says, nice win. Some rough stuff from Jobe, though. Felt there were a lot of full counts and too many hard-hit balls. Some clutch hobby was nice. Yeah, and I felt like they really played into this on the broadcast, and I was starting to get a little bit not annoyed, but understanding that, yes, it's the kid's first start in a tough ballpark, tough place to pitch in Coors Field. There's a lot of adjustments to be made. He's having a tough time, and I just really felt like those and they said it's not an excuse, it's just fact, and it is, but at the same time, you gotta, this is a growing opportunity for Jackson Jobe. His stuff wasn't good. There were a lot of 3-ball counts. There were a lot of times he was falling behind, and he was leaving stuff over the middle of the plate. And I don't care if you're pitching in Comerica or Coors Field or a Little League park. If you're leaving it over the heart of the plate, the opposition's too good, and they're gonna make you pay. And we saw that from Jackson Jobe throughout the course of this game until the bullpen picked him up. So I know it's worth noting, but at the same time, it feels like it's not a point that you have to beat into the ground, and not total justification for a really bad night for Jackson Jobe. The dude says, Zach looking good tonight at third. Cool to see Jack White at the game. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier. Jack White, really responsible for that Tigers rally. He was calling out the Gleyber Torres sac fly, and great stuff from Jack White in the booth. Benetti and Andy Dirks, too, do such a great job with incorporating the celebrity guests as part of the broadcast, whoever they may be. Bill Bob says, time for Jobe to get his stuff together. I agree. The hype is there. The hype train as such a highly touted prospect. Of course, it's there, and you expect results, and it's going to come with some time. Fishing with Shredder says, with as good as Cleveland is playing, we need every game we can get, especially against teams that we should beat like the Rockies. So this win really matters, in my opinion. I think that's a good point with Mr. Fishing with Shredders, because Cleveland is playing such great baseball. And, I'm guilty of it too. It's May, and we're talking about divisional standings and a race, and everything's going to change, but go out and control what you can control. And I think the Tigers did exactly that. Now, I love this one before we get to break. Hannah Banana 90, Baez All-Star, LOL. Honestly, I mean, it's not the craziest thing I've heard, but yeah, I think he'll have to continue to be on this tear that he is to earn some all-star recognition. But wouldn't that be something? All right, don't go anywhere. We've got our player of the game, our turning point, and we'll look ahead to tomorrow's doubleheader next on Live Locked On Tigers Postcast. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers Postcast is brought to you by wonderful pistachios. That's right. It's my favorite snack because it's both healthy and nutritious, and delicious. So if you're looking for that snack that's both delicious and nutritious, crack into some good sources of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber, better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. There it is. Help keep you feeling fuller longer. I love the no shells variety. They're great for a grab and go snack on busy days. Maybe you're heading to the gym. You want that high protein snack. They're an excellent option there. Or if I'm watching baseball and a long game like tonight was, extra innings, my goodness, the satisfying crack of opening the shell. It's like snack meditation. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. That's wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. This episode of the Locked On Tigers Postcast is also brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. So if you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. So join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com, promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. Here we go. It's another Tigers victory on the road, 5-3 road trip thus far. Tigers and Rockies will play a straight doubleheader tomorrow, given the inclement weather that forced the postponement from yesterday, I guess technically now Tuesday. So how we'll handle it on the postcast, because it's a straight doubleheader with no time between the two games, we'll just do the one post-game recap after the entire doubleheader. So just a programming note there. A couple more comments to get to. We've got 22 Tantrums who's going to the game. You love to see that. See y'all at the game tomorrow. We want to report from your experience. It sounded like there were a ton of tons of Tigers fans at the Tigers game yesterday. That's awesome stuff. All right, let's get into our turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Tough to find a turning point in a game like this where there were so many instances in which you felt like, hey, maybe the Rockies are going to mess around and win this game, and the Tigers could mess around this game. I thought when Dylan Dingler, unfortunately, was up in a big spot with the bases loaded and struck out, that could be a turning point. When Will Vest got out of a couple of jams and, like I said, gave his best Tarek Skubal yell, that was a turning point in this game. This game had a lot of turning points, and ultimately the biggest one being the Tigers getting the runs in the 10th inning to secure the victory and the bullpen finishing the job. Let's go to our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Man, he's already hit the predicted over for Locked On Tigers Postcast Player of the Games for the season, and we're only in May because it's Javy Baez. And once again, 4 runs batted in for Javy. He continues to be such a success and turnaround story for this Detroit Tigers team. And again, he's made a believer out of me and so many others that doubted him and criticized him and at times ridiculed him. But again, I won't apologize for that, because it was certainly justified in the moment and for the beginning portion of his Tigers tenure, and really largely the majority of his Tigers tenure, he's been a disastrous signing, but got to give him so much credit for what he's put together here in 2025. And nights like tonight are all the more reason that you believe it can continue. So I know it's late, and I appreciate everybody staying up late with us on the Locked On Tigers postcast. It's always a pleasure to be on the air with you. Back in the home studio. Apologies if you caught the show that was on the road where we were working through some AirPods and Bluetooth connections in the airport. So back in the comfort of the home studio tonight. So anybody that commented on the audio, my apologies. Hopefully tonight was better. All right. Always a pleasure. 23-13. The Tigers are 10 games over 500. You love to see that. And a doubleheader tomorrow. So we'll be on after the conclusion of the second game, with it being a straight doubleheader. Awesome stuff there. And let's get into, but while we still have still have a couple of seconds, the projected starters for the upcoming doubleheader. Tomorrow it will be Casey Mize in the day game, and Tigers have not announced their starter according to MLB.com for the evening game. So we'll see Casey Mize tomorrow, and to be determined in the evening game. Looking forward to be back on with you then. Thanks so much for staying up late. Make sure you check out Locked On Tigers with Scott Bentley. And hey, quick turnaround, because we will see you tomorrow for a doubleheader. Like the video, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Hey, my name is Jake Rietma. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next time on Locked On Tigers Postcast.